Have you ever felt like you were being gaslit by your own home, only to realize the person you trusted most was the one pulling the strings? My name is Chloe, and 3 years ago I married Mark. Mark is wonderful, but his mother, Evelyn, is what you'd call a boundary crosser. When we bought our first fixer-upper, a charming 1940s cottage, Evelyn insisted on helping us renovate. She's a professional interior designer, so I figured, why not? But the moment we moved in, things started feeling off. I'd find my kitchen cabinets rearranged every time I came home from work. I'd smell a perfume I don't own in my laundry room. Mark told me I was just stressed from the move, but then the real-life problems started. My health began to decline. I was constantly nauseous, had pounding headaches, and felt a strange metallic taste in my mouth every time I entered our bedroom. I went to 3 different doctors, and they all told me the same thing. It's just anxiety, Chloe, new house, new marriage, it's a big transition. But I knew my body. I started noticing that our dog, Cooper, wouldn't step foot in the master bedroom anymore. He'd stand at the door and growl at the wall behind our headboard. One night while Mark was away on a business trip, the smell of that perfume, cloyingly sweet lilies, became so strong it woke me up. I grabbed a flashlight and followed the scent to the baseboard. I noticed the paint was slightly cracked. I grabbed a hammer, fueled by a mix of desperation and sickness, and pried the wood back. Behind the drywall, nestled in the insulation, was a small, hand-stitched silk pouch filled with rotting lilies and a strange, gray powder. I didn't stop there. I went through the whole house like a woman possessed. Behind the vanity mirror, another pouch. Under the floorboards in the nursery we were preparing, a third one. I took the pouches to a local lab, paying out of pocket for a rush chemical analysis. The result made my blood run cold. The gray powder wasn't some superstitious charm. It was high-grade industrial lead dust mixed with concentrated mold spores, specifically chosen to cause chronic respiratory issues and neurological fog. My mother-in-law wasn't just overbearing, she was slowly poisoning me. She wanted me just sick enough that I would need her to move in and take care of Mark in the house. She was literally trying to make me an invalid so she could reclaim her son. The emotional twist. I didn't confront her immediately. I showed the lab results to Mark, expecting him to be horrified. Instead, he got quiet, too quiet. He looked at the floor and whispered. She did the same thing to my dad's second wife. I thought she'd stopped. I realized in that moment that my husband hadn't been clueless. He was a victim who had become a silent accomplice through his own fear. He had watched me get sicker and sicker, knowing exactly what was happening, but he was too terrified of his mother's wrath to speak up. The betrayal of his silence hurt more than the poison in the walls. I realized I wasn't just fighting a mother-in-law, I was married into a cycle of domestic horror. The shocking ending. I didn't call the police. I knew Evelyn was too smart for a simple attempted harm charge to stick. Instead, I waited until she came over for her weekly check-in. I served her tea in the very room she had contaminated. I told her I'd found her gifts, and that I'd already sent copies of the lab reports and Mark's written confession to her entire bridge club and her professional design firm. I told her she had 10 minutes to sign over the deed of the house to me entirely in my name and vanish, or I'd hit send on a police report that would end her career and her social life forever. She signed it, her face a mask of pure, silent rage. Today I'm divorced, the house is professionally remediated, and I'm healthy again. But I still check behind every picture frame I hang because some family ties don't just bind, they choke.